All right, family. This is Dr. William Clark here. So glad to be with you all today. I wanted to come on and stream real quick because there's something special happening tomorrow, and that something special is the last grant writing workshop for the year of 2019, hosted by yours truly. And we've been hosting these grant writing workshops all year long live here in the city of Hartford. And it's an amazing journey to kind of go and share this information with those of you that have attended, and meeting all of you who have a desire to launch a nonprofit or do something special. And this has been really cool, to just be with you guys and to share with you guys what I've learned over my years and what I continue to learn and practice as we speak. So with that being said, I did want to share a couple of thoughts with you around simple strategies for grant writing, and I thought I'd share this with you all as a lead up to what's going on tomorrow, with our grant writing workshop. So let me just share these quick tips with you, especially as you're on the way home, you're on the drive home, and you wanted something inspiring to listen to as you get your weekend started and possibly attend the Grant Writing 501 session with me tomorrow here in the city of Hartford. And for those of you looking to attend, you can join me by visiting drwilliampclark.eventbrite.com. Again, that's drwilliampclark.eventbrite.com, and you'll be able to go ahead and register with me, register to be with me tomorrow as we go ahead and share this last bit of information for the grant writing series of 2019. So, three simple strategies for grant writing you can use today. Number one, I share this quite a bit, and I just think that this first point cannot be overstated, and so I share it as often as I get the opportunity to, because I think the more I say it, the more hopefully people will get a chance to navigate and deal with this information. And that is, you got to engage a team. Grant writing is a team effort. Grant writing takes a number of people to come together and to say, we believe in the vision of this organization, and we believe in the effort that this organization is putting out there to serve our community. And as a result of our belief, we as a team we are going to go ahead and we're going to put our weight behind this vision. Now, this shows up in a number of ways. I mean, it can show up, by way of people actually doing some of the grant writing themselves. It can show up by way of people volunteering their time to be a part of a project. It can show up by way of people, um, being on a board or some other mechanism. But regardless of how this shows up, you need a team around you to help you navigate what it means to grant write and to raise money and to allow your organization to have the resources it needs to do what it needs to do to grow, to do what it needs to do to prosper, to do what it needs to do to be successful to some degree for the benefit of your clients, for your customers. If you don't have a team around you to help you do that, if you don't have a team around you to help you process what it means to steward your organization successfully, or to process what it means to position the organization to do amazing things on behalf of a community that just simply feels like it is unable to stand on its own, to thrive by itself, then what's the point of having a nonprofit? Okay, I mean, seriously, like, if you don't have a team around you to help you process how to do what you're doing, what's the point of having a nonprofit organization? We all need people who can speak truth to power, and we all need people who are able to help us uh, make the best decisions that can help grow our organizations, that can help bring visibility to our organizations, that can help us position our organizations to do what needs to be done for our clients. Man, at the end of the day, like that's what we're about. That's what we're doing. That's why we're in this business, to serve clients, to meet the needs of clients, to support clients, to provide resources to clients who need them desperately. And if we are not engaged with a team of people who can help us accomplish just that, I think we lose out ultimately. Not just our customers, not just the organization itself. We as leaders, we lose out. And so we need a team of people around us. And let me just add this too. We need a team of people around us who have a variety of types of skills, who can do a variety type of things. Everybody can't just be uh, a worker and nobody adds intellectual value to the work. There needs to be a mixture of people who can add intellectual value, who can support what we're doing by adding strategies and concepts and ideas, who are able to help us think through tough decisions, tough concepts, even when it feels difficult and impossible. And so at the end of the day, I'm challenging you as you grow your organization, as you think deeply about what it means to build your nonprofit organization and what it means to have the infrastructure in place to do what you are doing. I am challenging you to build a team. I'm challenging you to recruit people to be a part of what you are doing, because what you are doing matters and it's special. It is. So you need a team. All right. You need to engage your team. Here's a second tip: simple strategies for grant writings that you can use today. Here's a second tip: once you get your team and once you engage them, you need to go ahead and start planning. You need to go ahead and start planning and plotting your process. What are you going to do to get you to the place where you can go ahead and begin fundraising? What are you going to do to make that happen? Okay. This is where planning comes into place. This is where plotting out every step of the way comes into place. This is where you figuring out how to move one foot in front of the other comes into place. You need to plot the process. Okay. The process matters. The process matters a whole lot. And so planning and plotting the process allows you the ability to simply say, you know what? We know what we're going to do to make this happen. We know what we're going to do to get from one point to the next. We know what we're going to do to make our dreams a reality. Now, we don't know how exactly it's going to turn out, because, that's just the nature of the beast. We know that we don't know all the details, because we're starting something fresh, we're starting something new, we're starting something that is just different. But regardless of what we're doing that's different or new or unique, at least to us, we are going to plan our process with the best information we have today. This requires you to allow yourself to not feel like perfection is the goal, because it's not, it can't be.
Perfection cannot be the goal. Perfection cannot be the standard. You can't spend forever and a day planning what you're going to do. You can't spend forever and a day trying to get the perfect plan out um, so you can feel secure in what you think is best. More needs to happen. More needs to happen in your planning process. And what I mean by that is your plans need to be as broad and detailed as you possibly can make it, with the input and infrastructure of the team you have around you. And as the team contributes to whatever the plan is, be okay with the fact that what we've created today, what we have right now, what we've built during our time together is the best plan that we could have developed in this moment. And we are going to go ahead and we are going to execute on all cylinders to make this plan a reality. I'm having this conversation with you and I'm walking you through what it means to have a simple strategy for grant writing. Like, if you are not, hear me now, if you are not allowing yourself to successfully think through the possibilities of what if and what could be, then what's the point? I mean, seriously, if the plan is to have the best strategy and it has to be perfect, what you'll find out is there's no such thing as perfect. Every leader, uh, every nonprofit influencer, board member, volunteer, staffer knows that there is no thing called perfect, because the unthinkable, what we didn't plan for, will happen. As it relates to funding, fundraising, grant writing, the process, I mean, I have stories for days of processes that I thought of a process of writing a grant and things that we didn't think of that was not even related to the grant. It happened. Things that will always be etched in my mind. And the things that I have seen that have happened were so crazy that I can't even wrap my mind around this is a possibility that it can happen again. No, that's how crazy some things happen that comes out of nowhere. And then there are those things that are typically possible that can happen that you kind of got to plan for, the what ifs that are pretty normal to the process. But you got to plan your steps forward, knowing that whatever you plan will come with a number of roadblocks, a number of side steps, missteps, miscues, fill in the blank. You got to be comfortable with that. And if you ever gone through the quote perfection process and noticed that no matter how perfect your plan was, things were still kind of wacky, this is what the process is trying to tell you, that there's nothing perfect that you can create. And so if there's nothing perfect that you can create, then why are you delaying the process of getting off the ground? Why are you standing in your own way of seeing the possible become a reality? I mean, this is a realistic challenge for so many would-be leaders in the nonprofit space. What could you do different? What could you create that's different? What could you plan differently that could result in something that you've never had before? Could you have in the past planned something to the best of your ability and ability of your team and could have launched your first fundraiser, submitted your first grant, had your first partner meeting, had a preview meeting, had a listening party, made your first flyer, launched your first program, Could you have at least gotten to Sunday? This is an old podcast. Go ahead and look it up. Could you have at least gotten to Sunday and could have at least opened the doors, at least had one person you're serving, at least one family you could have helped, at least done something in the community in partnership with others? Could you have at least done fill in the blank? And I think the answer is yes, you could have at least done those things, because perfection in analysis, paralysis by analysis is the thing that stands in the way of so many people. And there's no good reason for it. No good reason for it. So now we're struggling to find meaning and purpose because we have yet to launch something that is on our hearts to launch. Man, it's tough. It's really tough. So again, simple strategies for grant writing you can use today. Simple strategies. Number one, we talked about engage a team. And we talked about having teams of all types, having different types of team members. It's just so much I want to say about that, but engaging a team of all types is so important. I talk extensively on this podcast channel about virtual teams and the importance of virtual teams. Man, you got to make it happen. So engaging teams of all types, planning the process, and here's the last step for simple grant writing strategies. You got to execute. Yeah, you have to execute on the plan that you develop. If you are not able to make your plans a reality, what was the point of going through the planning process? Once you and your team has gotten to the point of developing a plan that you guys believe makes sense to you all, then you have to execute on that plan. That's it. If you cannot put into action what you've launched or what you've planned, rather, what was the point? And I'm really dragging this point out as much as I can. What was the point? Seriously, I mean, what was the point for all of this if you are not going to actually do what you planned? You went through the planning process to do this first fundraiser, planning process to apply for grants. You set a financial goal. You went through the planning process of collecting new board members, of getting new board members. You went through the planning process of getting an office or launching wherever you felt comfortable. You went through the planning process to do all these things. And for what? If you're not going to follow through and execute, you did all that for what? I have seen more people go through the process of building teams, going through the planning process, and not execute at all. You did all that for what? Man, I want to see more people. I want to see more of you who follow this podcast do what you have to do so that you can not only build a team, so that you can not only plan, but so you can execute on the dreams and visions that concern you, because your dreams matter. They do. They matter. What you think, how you think, where you're going with all this, it matters. It matters a lot. And as we close out the last as we close out the last grant writing workshop of 2019, Grant Writing 501, I want you to think about these simple grant writing strategies. What did you not implement this year that you should have or could have implemented? What could you have done this year that could have been different had you just taken this extra step? Which of these 3 steps did you leave out? Engaging the team, planning, and execution. Because I started at the beginning of the year podcasting quite a bit, talking about, man, there's so much that we could do, that we could have done. What could you have done different? So my desire for all of you who are leading nonprofit organizations, my goal for all of you leading nonprofit organizations is for you to begin to think about how you can do things way different for the sake of your dreams, for the sake of your vision, for the sake of your future, for the sake of doing something totally different. What could you do different? What will you do different in the last 2 months of 2019? Will you finally engage a team to help you? If you don't have people in your local community, there are people virtually ready to help you. People who are ready to help you research, help you write, help you plan, strategize, navigate. There are people ready to help. Are you going to allow those people to help you? I have plenty of podcasts from this year talking about engaging a team. Are you going to go through the planning process? And if you don't know how to plan, go back to my first step. Are you going to engage a team to help you plan? Are you going to hire a team to help you plan? Are you going to engage people to help you think through this stuff? And then lastly, probably the most important of all these, are you going to finally execute on the dreams and visions that you have? You've been hoping, wishing, praying, believing for something great to happen through you. And you have not allowed yourself to be fully used for a greater purpose. So are you finally going to execute on something? Are you going to finally do something of substance? Are you going to get out of your own way to make it happen? My hope is that this was helpful. My hope is that this podcast challenged you. And my hope is that you are going to take this challenge and begin to do something totally different. If you need more help, thumb through the podcasts on this channel. However you're listening to this, whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's Facebook, whether it's YouTube, whether it's your podcasting platform of choice. However you're capturing this information, thumb through what we've been talking about all this time. And I want you to begin to challenge yourself and to begin to think about what you could do different. How you can move differently. How you can function differently. Because the people that you are called to serve through your nonprofit or your ministry or your business, they are waiting for you. They're waiting for your greatness. Follow me on drwilliampclark.com. You can access all my social media platforms where I'm at on social media on that website, drwilliampclark.com. And you can also see what our next events are coming up. Our next event is tomorrow. So by the time you hear this, if tomorrow comes, then you're going to have to go back to my website and see when the next live event is going to be happening. There's much more coming in 2020, much more online instruction coming in 2020. So much is going on. And so I want you to stay connected, drwilliampclark.com. This is Dr. William Clark for Leadership Conversations, and we'll see you in the next show. Peace.